Good morning, readers. Well, today is the release of Cloaked Campaign, which is book number 18 in the Reg Rawlins Psychic Investigator series. If you haven't read the series, you can pick up the first book for free, or you can pick up books 1 through 15 all together in one package if you want to get caught up on the series. But you can also read Cloaked Campaign as a standalone paranormal mystery and adventure book. You have enough background in there to understand what's going on. Now, let's start my slideshow there. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I am going to do a reading today from Cloaked Campaign. And this reading, I'm going to jump right into chapter 2. So Reg is practicing her fire casting skills with her mentor Davin, and also present is Ember, a young dragon. So here we go. Have you met the new witch in town? Davin asked. New witch? Reg shrugged. I don't know, not that I've noticed. But there were lots of witches and warlocks in Black Sands. Reg certainly didn't know all of them and wouldn't necessarily know if she had met someone who had just moved into town. Unless the witch mentioned being new, Reg would assume it was just someone she hadn't met before. I think you would have noticed her. Oh, what's so special about her? She appears to be young and inexperienced, but I got the feeling that her powers are much stronger than she would have those around her believe. He paused, looking for something else to say, then just repeated, much stronger. Did you get her name, or where she lives or works? Verity. I don't know where she's living or working, if she's found work yet. She's only been around for a day or two. Verity. Reg shook her head. No, I don't think I've run into anyone with that name. You would remember her. So who is she? Is she related to someone here? Or just come to Black Sands because... Reg shrugged. Because Black Sands had the highest number of witches and other practitioners of any other town in the country? The same reason Reg had initially come to Black Sands. Knowing that there was a high density of psychics and people using their services, she figured it would be a good place for her to run a fortune-telling con. But things had turned out very differently from what she'd expected. I don't know. I didn't get much of a history, Davin confessed. I was trying to be polite. Sometimes people don't want to share their reasons for moving to a new town. If she got run out of the last place she lived, a lot of people are anxious about anyone finding out what happened, worried that Black Sands will run them out on a rail too. Reg held the glowing ball of fire in her hands, letting its warmth seep into her. She was glad to have found her tribe in Black Sands. She'd always moved frequently from one place to another as people discovered her talents, constantly watching out for the police or anyone that she'd run into previously, changing her name, her scam, making up a new history. That life had ended with her arrival in Black Sands. She startled as Ember leaped across the clearing and snatched the fireball from her hands, appearing to swallow it, and then breathing out a long stream of fire that reached from one side of the clearing to the other. Ember! No! Bad dragon! Reg couldn't help laughing. You have to let me practice with Davin. Ember sat, looking at her, not the least bit sorry. You'll need to stay focused, Davin told Reg, chuckling. He was always trying to think of new ways to distract her focus from her fire, forcing her to strengthen her skills and her ability to stay on task. Apparently he'd not planned for Ember to jump in and distract Reg, but it was a good challenge. We don't usually have to defend against someone stealing our fire, but who knows? Maybe one day you will, and you'll be glad for this trial. You'll have to keep your attention on both your fire and your dragonlet. Reg eyed Ember as she kindled another fire between her hands. You'd better stay there. It isn't going to be easy to do that again, she warned him. She shifted her focus to the fire and tried to remember what she and Davin had been talking about before the interruption. I'll watch for this Verity, I guess, if you think it might be important. Davin shrugged. Maybe the two of you won't have anything to do with each other, but I've got a feeling that she might make some waves while she's here in Black Sands. All right, so that is from book number 18, Cloaked Campaign, and you can find that on my website or e-store, or you can pick it up from your favorite online book retailer, or request for your bookstore or library to bring it in special order for you. Okay. Available as paperback, hardcover, or ebook. I've also got something new in my web store called an accessibility pack, and I'll be talking about that next week. I'm going to have a special blog post on that. But that gives you the digital ebook version. It gives you a PDF in open dyslexia font, and it gives you a machine-read audiobook. So if you have trouble reading, or if you are low vision or want to listen to it while you're doing something else, then you can pick up the accessibility pack. All right, see you soon. Talk to you next week.